the only cool thing in the stagnant Florida night. It was the loneliest road she had ever seen. A mile behind her was a sign that said the road was closed and the bridge was out. That sign was lying face down now, sawed off at the base. "It would be my preference," the long-haired man said. He paused, stood dead center between the headlights, and stared at Nina. His right hand lifted, and the gun muzzle rose with it and centered on her and held. His gloved fingers stroked the trigger. He studied her for a long moment and then nodded. "Clean," he said. "It would be clean and quick." "There will need to be blood," the other one said, and Nina closed her eyes despite herself. "Correct. Rather a lot of it, too." "I'm afraid so." Nina forced her eyes open. Beads of sweat rose on her forehead, too cool, like the sweat when a fever broke. They were standing as close together as she'd ever seen them, not shoulder to shoulder, but aligned, at least temporarily, no more than a single pace apart. The river ran through their shadows. Neither of them moved and neither of them spoke. The sound of the river was a distant thing. Cicadas trilled, and somewhere in the far distance there was a soft splash. An alligator, maybe. "Your knife?" the long-haired man said. His companion withdrew a knife from his pocket and flicked the blade open and passed it over. The long-haired man let the AR-15 muzzle drop again and walked toward the car at a leisurely pace. All the time in the world. He stopped beside the driver's door and reached out and took the handle and pulled it open. Knelt. Looked at her. "It must be done," he said. Nina nodded. She couldn't speak. He sighed and leaned his rifle against the back door of the car. Then, holding only the knife, he used his free hand to sweep his hair back from his face and looked up at her with what could almost pass for tenderness. "I can do it," he said. "Or—" "Me." The word left her lips in a gasp. She breathed and blinked and said it again, firmer this time. "Me." The long-haired man nodded. The other one had moved out of the headlights and stood watching from the shadows. "I respect that," the long-haired man said. Then he rotated the knife so he was gripping it by the blade and passed it forward. Nina finally released the steering wheel and took the textured black rubber grip of the knife in her right hand. The long-haired man leaned forward and reached for Nina's hand. Instinctively, she jerked it back. He waited, patient. She extended her left hand to him, trying to will the shaking away. It didn't work. He took her bare hand in his gloved hand, turned her palm up, and traced the fine blue vein that ran from the top of the wrist to the base of her middle finger. "Cut deep, and across the track, not with it," he said. "The blade is sharp. It won't take much. Just remember to get to the headrest in a hurry. We wouldn't want to create confusion." Nina's heart rate was triple timing, and her breasts rose and fell with shallow breaths. She felt a wave of dizziness and for a moment thought she might drop the knife. She looked away from him and out toward the river and spoke aloud, but to herself. "Haley," she said. Then, after wetting her lips, "Nick." No one said a word when she brought the gleaming, angled blade to the inside of her left wrist and cut a furrow through her skin and deep into the vein. She cried out then despite herself, the pain rising behind the blood, and the long-haired man said, "Hurry now, hurry." And she turned in the seat and reached for the headrest and held out her hand so her palm was open and skyward like a desperate prayer. The blood ran free over the tan leather and formed reservoirs and tributaries as it tracked down the headrest and chased the grooves of the leather back south. The dizziness returned, and she